like I'm standing in the spotlight. We are going to be going through the next 17 movements, right? So we learned a little bit. We learned what they were last week, the next 17 movements. I was saying to the lovely ladies earlier, guys, last week was a little bit overwhelming. Today's going to be a little bit overwhelming. We've got a lot of information to learn. But if you're overwhelmed, that's fine. You've still got so many weeks to practice everything that we've learned, right? The goal was to get all the learning done these first 2 weeks so that we can practice. Because learning is not going to make you confident. Learning is not going to make you be able to teach. Teaching and practicing, that's what's going to make you confident. That's what's going to make you be able to teach, right? So the reason that we're learning massively these first 2 weeks is that we've got more time to teach, so that we can build more confidence. Okay, so today we're not going to be doing a class. Today we're just going to be learning the movements and we're going to be practicing. But whenever we're doing any class, there's still a structure. I want you guys to all close your books. Just to get the brain juices flowing. There's no right or wrong, guys. We're still learning, right? You're not supposed to know everything. But the class structure, it always starts a very specific way. No matter what class you're doing, if you're doing a CrossFit class, if you're doing a boot camp, if you're doing a yoga, a Pilates class, there's always a structure to the class. What is the first step of my structure? What is the if I'm looking at a class structure, you don't need to put your hands out, Fatima, shout out the answer.
Why? What?
Were you putting your hand up?
She said shout out the answer.
You can shout out the answer. Are you words putting your hands up?
I want to give them the space. Because maybe my answer is not the right one. It's okay.
There's no wrong answer. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I'll start welcoming people.
Beautiful, right? Yeah, you welcome people first. Hello, guys. Welcome. My name is Charisse. I'm going to be your instructor for today. I'll introduce myself. How are you guys feeling? Get a little bit of interaction, right? Get to know your students. Get to build a connection. Because how many Pilates studios do you think is now in Qatar? Right? Right? I'm getting offered a new job every single week. There's so many studios. There's so many more opening. There's so many instructors. Someone is not going to come to your class because you know how to teach Pilates. Why do you think they're going to come to your class?
For the energy.
For the energy?
Communication, motivation.
Communication, motivation.
Taking pictures.
You know, the last time I did this training, I asked a question. The lady's like, they're going to come for your cute outfits. I was like, no. Maybe some. A lot. The cute to the outfit, probably you have 1, 2 extras. Right, but most of the time, people are coming for you, right? For your energy, for your connection. If you're coming to my class and I'm walking into the class and I'm like this, hi guys, morning. Yeah, okay, so, guys, ready? Okay, we're going to do Pilates. Okay, ready? Here. Okay, do this. 10 reps. Okay, go.
Even if you are the best one who gives that, I would never come to
Sa. You can have the best knowledge. You can explain the exercise beautifully. But if you're not connecting, if you're not engaging with your students, if you're not making eye contact, you're just another instructor. There's many instructors. They can go to whichever instructor they feel like on the day. You want your students to say, oh, I feel like her energy. I feel like her class. She knows my name. Right? Right? So these are things that we want to consider and think about. Not just how do I teach beautifully in the right way, but how can I engage my class? How can I create a community? How can I connect with the different people in my class? Because that's what's going to bring them back. Good playlist, right? Very important. Okay, so I've welcomed everyone. I've introduced myself. What is my next step? What do I need to find out before we can start moving? Injuries. What injuries are there? Why do I need to find out what injuries there are?
Modify exercises, avoid.
Exactly. What if I've got someone with a spinal injury? Pregnancy. What if someone's pregnant? Now I'm making them do an exercise that's dangerous for the baby. Right? Later.
Get to know the limitation of the students.
Say again, sorry?
Get to know the limitation, because if you do the engagements, the report, and then someone has an injury, you have to follow up as well.
Yes.
But they're also
Yes.
not do the work properly.
Exactly right. So I'm going to ask who's got any injuries. And if someone tells me, oh, they've got a neck injury, I'm going to be watching them, especially when I'm going to give an exercise that is putting pressure on the neck. I'm going to say to them, listen, this is very stressful on the neck. If anyone has an injury, and maybe I'm going to look at them and give a little wink, or I'm going to say, okay, if anyone's got a neck injury, this one's going to be hard. Maybe stick to level 1. Listen to your own body. Do it what feels comfortable. Right? So you want to figure out who's in front of you. Because very often, especially in a group setting, you're going to have new people coming in, right? You're not going to know who are these people, which injuries they have. So I always like to say, guys, listen to your body, because everyone knows their body, right? You all know your own limitations, your own restrictions. Some people are shy. I'm going to ask, who's got any injuries? Everyone's going to keep their hand down. Beautiful. Let's all do boomerang. No, actually, I can't. My neck. Ask the injuries. Sometimes they're shy, right? So also just allow before exercises. This one's going to be strenuous on the neck. This one, be careful if you've got diastasis, right? But it's ideal if you know. And the more you engage with your students, the more you start to build that rapport, you're going to get to know, because they're going to ideally come back, right? Then exactly. And community and challenge, the two biggest things that keep people consistent in working out. If you can create a community, and if you can create a challenge within the community, the chances of your clients staying with you for a lot longer go up dramatically, right? So how can we create that community? Imagine you guys all came in and everyone was just quiet. No one said anything, right? Everyone's talking, everyone's engaging. Their energy is already up before you even have to put in effort. And the more you create that space, the more your students create it. The more they feel safe. Okay, I can speak, right? Anyone ever gone to a silent class? Silent yoga, right? Yeah, it's quite weird for me.
Bikram had yoga.
Yeah, Bikram, right? I used to go to I went twice ever. So later it was completely silent class. I'm terrible. Can't keep quiet, right? If you go to my yoga, I do dancing yoga, I do laughing yoga. Everyone is laughing, right? You need to find your own energy. You need to find your own style, but make it engaging. Make it that people want to be there. This is often the highlight of their day, right? You don't know what they've got going on at home. You don't know what stress they're going through. You don't know if they're missing their family. You don't know if they don't have any friends. They don't have a community. They're going through a rough patch. Their health has taken a toll. Coming to your class might be the highlight of their entire day, right? So think of that when you're creating your space. Think of that when you're creating your class.
What if not injury? It is after surgery, like removing the cystic in the ovary, and she wants to join the class. But of course, with the approval of the doctor.
Yes.
What are the best tips for that basic one level one, heavier, lighter springs only?
Are you speaking about the mat or the reformer? The reformer.
What are the basic?
So remember that there's always an easier version, and then you go harder, harder, harder. Tomorrow when we do the reformer training, I'm going to show you all the easier movements. With any injury. The last week what we did, that was all level 1. That was all easy, simple stuff. Most people can do it. So whenever someone's got an injury, you get them to go to level 1. You get them to start at the bottom. And when they can do level 1, then you get them to try level 2. And if they can do it without hurting themselves, without putting pressure on the injury, then they can go to level 3. But if level 1 is too challenging, khalas, don't even take them to level 2. Let them keep practicing level 1 until they get stronger. Then they can move and progress. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to be going through our next 17 exercises. So we've introduced the class. We've introduced everyone. I've introduced myself. I've asked if there's any injuries. I asked if there's any pregnancies. I also asked, does anyone mind me adjusting them? There's going to be some physical adjustments. Does anyone have a problem with it? Maybe someone doesn't like to be touched, right? We need to be conscious also of the class. Very specifically, Jordan, unfortunately for you, right? Very different with a man touching a female, especially in the Middle East. So you have to be careful of just going in, touching people, right? Do you mind me touching you? Okay, now I can touch her, right? So just get a little bit of confirmation first. Obviously, again, once you've got your students coming regularly, you get to know them, you know who doesn't mind being touched, if anyone has a problem. Anyone have a problem with adjustments for today? I'm very physically touchy, so. Okay. Okay, so that's my full introduction of the class. Yes, Fatima?
Can I explain what is the class about and how it's going to be, or I shouldn't say that in the beginning?
Absolutely, you should. You should explain what is the class going to be. Today we're going to be focusing on core activation. We're going to be training into the hips. We're going to work a little bit into the upper body. Today is going to be a beginner class. Today is going to be intermediate. Today is going to be a more advanced class. So you give them a little bit, and very important, you mention the principles. Remember how we discussed last week? So, what is the purpose of Pilates? Pilates is designed to strengthen your core, your powerhouse. It's designed to make you move with precision and control to connect your mind and your body and your spirit, yeah, if you want to say that. Right? It's designed to help you find your flow. So I want you to focus on moving gracefully. Imagine as if you're in a dance, right? Find your flow, enjoy yourself. So however you want to introduce the concept of Pilates, but mention the principles. We're moving today with alignment. We're moving slow and controlled with precision, right? We're engaging the powerhouse. It's important that you align your breath with the movement. You're giving them the overall principles of Pilates. So, introductions.
Can I ask something? Usually, how many exercises are in with one class? Like, how many?
With one class, it depends. It depends how you're doing it, but roughly around 10. Okay. That's why you will find, by your final assessment, you have to do 10.
Okay.
You just have to choose 10. But it depends how you're doing it. How I like to do my Pilates, I start with level 1, then I progress to level 2, and I give them option for level 3. This takes longer. Yeah. If you just give one level, this is level 2, this is how you do it easier, this is how you do it will be quicker. Yeah. So it depends on you. How are you going to
last time I noticed that you cannot really count on the reps that you're doing it. I mean, how you're doing it by sets, you're doing it by reps, how you manage to...
You're doing it usually by reps or by breath count. We're going to go for 5 breaths. Inhale for 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 3, 4, 5. Inhale. So you're either doing it on breath or counting. But as we all know, it's very difficult to count, really. So I tell my class from the beginning, guys, I'm terrible at counting. If you want to do the right reps, make sure you're counting. And then I always count the class down. I count roughly on my fingers, how many are they doing? That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. And then I count the whole class. So some are going quicker, some are maybe going slower, but I count the whole class. Okay, guys, last 3. Last 2. So we're all moving together. Yes. Because again, you move synchronized. You're creating a community. You don't want one person to be finished and then she's sitting like this looking at you. And the other person. Exactly. Right? So I'm like, okay, last 3. And someone's like, oh, but I'm already finished. I said, well, you're fit. So you need the extra reps. Right? Make it a joke. Make it lighthearted. I didn't see you, so you have to do a few extra. Right? No one, if someone finished quickly, it means they're fit. Khalas, make them do extra. It's okay. Right? They're not going to die. They came there for exercise. So try and get the class to move together. Last 3, last 2, last 1. So count down the last few reps. Okay. So I've introduced the principles. I've introduced the concept of the class. What is the purpose of that specific class? And then I need to start, before I start with my exercises, what do I start with? Warm up. We learned a little bit about anatomy and physiology on Monday, huh? Why do I warm up? Avoid injuries, increase circulation, increase, someone said it, synovial fluid. I think Patty at the back there, right? So I'm increasing the synovial fluid, the liquid in between my joints. This is going to help me prevent damaging my joints. Right, so I do mobilization. Mobilization, I'm taking a joint around its axis. So 2 bones are going round and round. Mobilization. So I start a little bit of mobilization. So everyone stand up, let's do a little bit of mobilization. Oh, we forgot before I start warm up. We forgot the most important thing. What did we forget? The ABCs. I forgot my ABCs, right? Stand up. Because I'm not doing it in an official thingy. Always, right, your ABCs. Before you start moving, your ABCs. What is my A? My A is alignment. I start from the feet. So my feet are first directly below my hips. My feet are straight. My ankles, my knees, my hips, my shoulders are all in one beautiful line. My knees are nice and soft, like jelly. My hips, where are my hips? Like a bucket, there, square. So I like to allow my students, push the bucket down, push it back, push it forward, push it back, and just see how that feels. So get the rotation of your hips and then bring it to neutral. Imagine that bucket. If you push it too far forward, all the water is going to spill out the front. If you push it too far back, all the water is going to spill out the back. Bring the bucket to neutral so your hips are square, so no water is going to fall out. My spine is nice and lengthened, nice and long. My shoulders are nice and relaxed away from my ears. They're in a soft V. They're not rounded forward. They're pulled back. My chest is open and proud. Imagine there's a string pulling my head to the ceiling, right? And here we've got quite good alignment. So that is my general alignment. Even you can look at the shoulders. What's happening with your shoulders? Try bring your shoulders square. Right? So you're just getting their basic alignment so they're in a nice tight line. And then my B, my breathing. Which breathing am I doing? Lateral thoracic breathing. All right? What that means in English is breathing through the rib cage. We learned about the spine, our cervical, and our thoracic. So we're breathing into our spine, into our rib cage. I like to get my clients to place their hands on their ribs. Inhale. See how the fingers separate. Exhale. Inhale. Now the goal as well, if you can see yourself in the mirror, the goal as well when I breathe, I don't want my shoulders to raise too much, right? So I'm breathing here rather than here. I'm breathing out laterally rather than up. So inhale. My ribs expand. Exhale. My ribs compress back in. And C, what is my C?
Zip you.
My core, right? So I'm going to engage my core all the way from my pubic bone, from my pelvis, up until my rib cage. So I want to engage all these deep core muscles. So I want to engage my abs. I want to pull my abs nice and strong. So if I come and punch you, bah, your abs are going to be strong enough to hold it. So however you want to explain that, right? Wrapping up your corset like you're in Bridgerton, right? Those abs are nice and tight. Push them out tight, not sucked in tight. And or zipping up your favorite pair of jeans. So you want to zip up your core all the way from here, all the way up. And what that would look like is my rib cage would be tucked. So this entire trunk, like the trunk of a tree, is nice and firm, nice and sturdy, nice and stable. Okay, A, B, C. Now I start moving. Now I can start with warm-up, right? I can do some shoulder rotations. So just do 5 forward, 5 back before we start moving. The whole time while I'm doing this, I'm reminding about the pelvis. I'm reminding about the core. For last 1, and exhale, change sides. I'm also reminding them to breathe. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle. Like it's your birthday. Make a wish. Right? Beautiful. From here, you can move to your toes. We're going to just do like you're squishing grapes. So pumping. And you might start to hear clicking. Popcorn. Right? What's that meaning? That meaning the joints are waking up. The synovial fluid is coming, right? That clicking is a good sign. Beautiful. Let's grab the knees. Inhale and exhale. Nice big rotations. Let's go 5 to the left, 5 to the right. Who's got popcorn knees? Right? You feel the popcorn? Just me? I'm the only one with old knees? Right? Last 2. Last 1. If anyone's a runner, beautiful exercise you should do before you run, right? Get some synovial fluid, some liquid in the knees. Okay, you could do hip opening, you could do lateral stretches. So you're just doing some movements to get them warm. What else did we do the last time? I said step to the back, and we did roll down to crawl out. Lovely one for a warm-up, right? So let's do 3 of those. What I want to see is some spinal articulation. You're going to unravel the spine vertebra by vertebra. Spinal articulation is when the vertebra does this, your spine does that. It's basically mobilization for my spine, right? Just 3 reps, chin to your chest, hands up, forward dive down, crawl out, high plank, core is nice and tight, hips are square, don't let that bucket of water spill, and gently come back. Unravel vertebra by vertebra from the sacrum to the upper spine, and let's go 2 more. Chin to the chest, exhale down, crawling out, high plank, hips are square, core is engaged. So open up these shoulders, lift the hips up higher, beautiful. Keep your core engaged. Your wrists will be directly below your shoulders. And achaché, last one. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, unravel down. Vertebra by vertebra. You're going to come into your high plank and drop down. Oh. Gently push up and roll side to side. We're just warming up. And child's pose, hips back. Okay, so we should be a little bit warm, right? Don't worry, it's just Pilates. We'll be fine. Yes.
In the past few years, they used to do that stretching classes. Now it's like gone. No one doing any stretching in the
Are you meaning in the reformer or the mat?
Both.
I don't know, to be honest.
Linked to the coach. Every day I'm doing mat Pilates.
Maybe it's only you. Maybe there is a second one. It's you.
No, all
but
coaches in the studio, it's same.
what is same?
Specifically with stretching.
No, I go to many different studios around the Pearl and in 22 and West Bay and even here in Lucerne. And I've been doing math since almost 3 years, and I'm doing reformer since 2017. Only in the beginning of 2017, before COVID, they used to, and then they just stopped. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They just
Even
jump
some
into it.
fitness
If you
classes.
do it, it's amazing, but not all. You should try
In the
studios.
start and in the end.
Sorry?
In the start of the class and
They
in the
don't.
end.
They don't. This is my question. I'm listening that.
This is just instructors not,
Exactly.
probably not going through a good training.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's the problem. Too many.
They get like bored from doing it. What?
There should never be a board like, this is preventing you from injuring yourself. Should never be bored. It's incorrect training. There's a lot of Pilates trainings now that are shortcuts. Yeah, they're not doing the mats. If you're not doing mats first before you're doing reformer, khalas, your certificate is not actually international. It's an in-house. They're just learning an apparatus. You know, reformer is an equipment that you use to do Pilates. It's like, imagine I want to be a personal trainer, but instead of learning how to squat, how to move my body, I'm only coming and I'm only learning how to use the leg press machine. So I'm only learning how to use the leg press, but I didn't learn how to mobilize my body, how to do my squats, how to warm up. I'm only using this machine. You get it?
Yes.
I've seen some books that there's some Pilates movements. It's considered like as a warm up.
Say again, sorry?
Some basic Pilates movements, level 1.
Yes.
Considered like a warm up.
Yes, yes, yes.
So maybe they infuse this first movement.
Also
as
the
a-
time. It's an hour class and they don't want to probably waste time doing
There is a lot of time. Now they make it from 1 hour to 50 minutes.
Yes, 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 yes. But if you warm up properly, you get more benefits from the exercise. So to skip the warm up, you're not benefiting so much from the exercise because now you're not engaging your muscles as much.
So the reason I'm asking, it's not they are wrong or right. I just want to know, maybe something happened in the Pilates coaching that they moved that.
No.
Because I want to bring that back.
Yes.
If I'm going to teach.
Yes, yes.
And I don't want it to look like, oh, this is the old school. This is the, we don't do that anymore. But
No.
it's still there in
Yes.
the teaching. I want to keep that.
Sa.
I want to keep it in the beginning and in the end. What they are doing, they just focus the one in the end.
Yes.
They give you 3 minutes, like, okay, let's stretch and
Yes.
they can,
Like they do.
namaste.
May I add one thing?
Yes.
Regarding the warm-up is different from coach to coach, from school to school. There is a people said, I will go, I prefer active.
Yes, I was
active
about to say
warm-up.
this.
Yeah, active warm-up. Better than I start by, stretching, because now the science said, no start by stretching, that's active warm-up, that's some small movements, and you start your class.
Okay, give me an
The difference, what she's meaning, the difference. There's dynamic stretching, there's static stretching. Static is still. So if I am here, static, I'm still. This can only come at the end. I cannot warm the class like this. So if I'm doing a warm-up stretch, it needs to be moving. So it's stretching, but moving stretching. Right? So I can do any moving stretching. I cannot do static stretching for a warm-up because static stretching brings my heart rate down. I want to get the heart rate shwaya up. So I can do stretching, but if I am doing stretching, it must be moving. So I'm not doing static. I'm not just doing still stretching. I'm doing moving stretching to warm the body. And at the end, I'm doing static stretching to bring the heart rate down, to bring the nervous system down. Okay.
How many minutes or how many positions for warm up?
Should be like, say, 4 to 8, mobilization and stretch. So mobilization, this one. Stretch here. Right? Stretching. So I can do anything, right? I can do my hips. I can do breathing. Right? I can do hip openers. I can do seated over here. I can do boom, boom, boom. Okay. So there's many different options. 4 to 8. Okay. So then we mobilize the body. We warm up. Dynamic stretches, right? Dynamic movement to warm the body. And now I can start my exercise. Also, just what Fatma was busy saying, I noticed how many classes you go today where they're actually teaching you how to engage your core, right? Very few. They're showing you how do you actually engage your core. How do you actually align the body?
I swear, in spinning, they care about the core more than some Pilates classes they care about it, or remind you, about it.
Yes, yes. There's been one studio I've gone to in Doha that is doing any, and still they're not showing you how, right? It should be part of every single class, your introduction. Sorry? They do. I haven't been to Megaform. I need to try. Okay. But they should, right? Even in Pilates. So let's be the new trendsetters, right? Let's teach it how it's supposed to be taught. Let's show people how to actually do Pilates properly. Let's bring back the basics. Exactly, right? A lot of people are teaching Pilates that's not even Pilates. Okay, beautiful. So let's turn to exercise number 18. Shoulder bridge.
In which plane is this shoulder bridge?
In which?
In which plane of movement? I was trying to find.
In which plane of movement?
Yeah.
It is vertical. Not? I think vertical. Yeah. So, team, what we're going to do for each of these movements is we're going to teach, I'm going to show you the movements, how you would teach it, the what. How do we teach it? What, why, how, breath, imagery. So I'm going to first teach it, and then I'm going to get you guys to do it from level 1, level 2, level 3. You're going to perform it so that you get to feel it. Can you maybe just push stop and then start again?